Hi everyone. So I'm Evan. I'm going to teach you today how to make your very own SMS chatbot using tools like Make, ChatGPT, and Twilio. So what's going to look like? Video up here in the corner. You can see a chat taking place with me with the assistant that I've built in this video. And at the end, you'll have your very own SMS chatbot that you can apply to any industry and hopefully make yourself some money. So let's get into it. I'll give you a high level overview of what we're going to do. So let's get started. I put together a few slides, just giving an overview, a bit of a high level overview of how this actually all works and what we're going to be doing in this tutorial. So the benefits. What are the actual benefits that my clients and hopefully your clients or yourselves will actually be seeing from this AI powered appointment setter? It's really simple, right? So there's three things. So you can expect an increase in sales. You're going to be able to scale your business to the moon, honestly, because you don't have to wait on anybody to send a text message, to sort of like phone call. No, the AI powered appointment setter does all that for you. So you can really get to scale in your business. Obviously, you can save time because all these repetitive tasks are automated. So you're not there boring your eyes out, sending hundreds, thousands of text messages out. No, this is done for you, completely for you. So you can just literally scale, increase sales. It's honestly amazing. So, of course, yeah. A little bit about me then before we jump in. So I'm Evan. I'm basically just sharing my journey. I'm starting my AI automation agency. I created this for a client. I thought it'd be a great thing to sort of share, get the word out because I've only got two hands, so I can't actually deliver this to everybody. But if I share a video out, giving a tutorial, hopefully, if you own your own business or if you're servicing a business like I am, you'll get value from this. So yeah, why watch me? I guess one, I'm gonna take this like sort of beginner version and show you like demystify like the field of AI. I think when we talk about AI and business, it can get very complicated, and a lot of business owners don't have the skill set or the time to actually upskill in AI. That's why I sort of come in handy. So if you are one of those business owners that doesn't have the time or the effort to upskill in AI, give me a message. I'm giving out free consultations to see how we can actually implement AI into businesses. And if you're the complete opposite and you want to get hands-on and learn how to do this stuff, great. Keep watching. So before we actually get diving in, there's three prerequisites that I'm going to need everyone that wants to sort of follow along with this tutorial to do. So three accounts, right? You have to create a Make account, a Twilio account, and lastly, an OpenAI account. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using these three things, right? So Make is actually a really straightforward tool, and it allows you to create modules and link together automations. So I like to think of Make as the sort of glue that holds together the whole automation. Twilio is simply put just a text messaging service. We can create an account with Twilio. We can get we get like some credit from them as well on a free trial, and that will help us send the text messages. OpenAI, we're going to create an assistant, we're going to train it, we're going to prompt it so it knows stuff about our business and it can act as your agent or an agent for the business that you're serving. And it's going to have the brains and hold the actual conversation. So there's going to be links for these three in the description. So if you want to follow along, pause here, click those links, and go and create those accounts now. Brilliant. So hopefully now you'll have made your OpenAI accounts, Twilio, and Make accounts, and we can get started to making our first scenario. So you want to click onto Make, and he's going to log in. Done it before, so it remembers me. Now, once you've logged in, we're going to create a new scenario. So you can do this either just straight from there, or like me, I like to keep things in folders. So create a folder here. I'm going to create a new scenario. Perfect. So what this first scenario is, or what we're going to do here, let me get this pane actually up to the right. So what we need to do first is we need to send the user an initial message. Now, the important thing to realize here is when we're working with this is a phone with messages, by the way. So when we're working with our chat, right, we're making a conversation. So we want the AI to send a message, the first message here, and then maybe let's do a follow up, maybe a bad diagram by my part. But it's a message, it's a conversation between two parties, right? So The AI sending, then the person sending, then the AI, then the person. So why am I actually highlighting this? All of these messages, they need to be passed into the model. Now, why do we need to do this? If we don't do this, the model doesn't actually have any context of what was just said. So this is it's a very big mistake that a lot of people make when they're making these sorts of bots. They'll go in and they'll make a great bot and they'll make a great pipeline, but then the model doesn't remember the last message that was sent. So it's stuck in this loop, just sending the same sort of response. So the way that we get over this problem is by this little tool created by OpenAI. So it's called Threads. Now, what Threads is, it allows us to store previous messages, and then we can also send this to the model every time that model is making, is thinking and is creating a response. And that's what we need to do. So we need to set up this pipeline so that our model, it can hold a conversation and we're not just making a bot, can just send one message. That's very easy. And you could modify this if that's what you want, just like a message that sends a confirmation message or something like that. You could modify this first, for this first scenario that we're going to make. You can modify it like that. So let's get into it then. What I'm doing is I'm going to make a Google Sheet. So what we need to do is we're going to search the rows of a Google Sheet. Now, why am I doing this? So imagine this is your CRM, right? So you have a bunch of names down here and a bunch of numbers down here. And these are people that you want to contact and you want to engage in a conversation and hopefully convert into sales. Now, I'm going to hopefully blow my number out at this point. If I haven't, please message me. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab the name and the number of we're going to go row by row and grab the names and numbers of the people here and send them a message. So what we do here in make.com, we find our sheet, call it make dead leads. Sheet name is sheet one, perfect. And there you go. Simple as we grabbed our data. This can also, like, you can change this. It doesn't have to be Google Sheets. This is just for the tutorial. You can use Airtable, Notion, any CRM sort of thing. You can use it in Make, trust me. So next step. What is this? Next step is to send a message. So we want to use Twilio. Twilio to make an account. So here's where that comes in handy. So with Twilio, what I want you to do is I want you to send a message from a phone number. When you create a trial account with Twilio, you can actually create a phone number and you need one of those to send messages to and from them, right? So you get like a start price, I think it's like £14, and you'll be able to have that money to buy a phone number, which is like 90p. So go do that. So we want to send it to who? We want to send not name to the number. Perfect. And what is the message body? What do we actually want to send, right? So we have a phone number, we defined who we're sending it to and where we're sending it from. And we also now need the make body. Here's the one I made earlier. Pretend you didn't see this. Now I body, right? So here's the message that we're going to send to try and wake up these clients, right? Or these potential leads. It says, it's Michelle here from Business Coaching Limited. Is this the same, insert name here, that was in touch with us, or in touch with the team recently? So we're going to send that message to everyone in the sort of CRM, right? Now, here comes this beautiful piece of artwork. So the threads and the model, right? We need to log this message because this is the start of a conversation with somebody. And we need to remember and log all of these messages with somebody in a container. So how we do that, like I said, we're going to use OpenAI's tool called Threads. And the way that we use this tool is we're going to use the HTTP module. And we're going to create a request. I'm just going to copy this because I've already populated it from okay, great. So populated this now. And what we have to do, you get the URL. So this is like universal. You put this URL in there, it's a post request. If you go into the creator thread documentation, you can also see this here, right? And the headers, so these parts, the headers, so the authorization and the bearer token, that is just us saying to OpenAI, hey, this is us. And the bearer token is the key saying, yeah, this is me, and I should have access to these resources. And you'll get this in the settings if you're of this page here, if you're into the settings, you'll be able to find the bearer token that you need for this. And then what we do is we define the actual request making. So we're appending it to the messages. Who sent this one? The role of the person that sent this message that we're appending is the assistant. It is the chat agent that is sending this message, and the content that we want to save in this container. Think about a container. So the content that we want to save is the text message. Yeah. So we want to send this text message that we've sent, and we want to save it. That is what this module does. And remember to click parse response there. It's very important. So click OK on that. And now, where are we? We've gone into the database, right? We've grabbed the person. So let me show you. So we have grabbed the person from the database. This is the person getting grabbed from the database. So we grab the person from the database, and then we send them a text message, right? SMS. So you've sent them an SMS, and then what we do is we save this one. We take that and we save it in ChatGPT's Threads tool. There's one last missing piece of this puzzle, and it's here, right? So we need to connect this container, right? So whatever this little container is, this conversation. Because imagine if we have a bunch of people we're sending messages to, we're going to have a bunch of these containers, a bunch of these message histories. Think about it. How do we know which one of these connects to this person? And that's what this step does. We're going to go back and link this container to that person, so that we know then when we're having a conversation, we can say, oh, okay, we're having a conversation with, I don't know, this person, right, or me, all right, we're having a conversation with Evan. I need to send Evan's history into the model. And that is the last step of this first scenario, and you'll be on your way to having your own bot. So we go into Google Sheets. That's our database. We're going to update a row. So spreadsheet ID again, standard. You've done this before. Select your set spreadsheet. Great, sheet name. Now the row number, that is the person that we currently have. So there you go, grab the row number. I want to update this thread ID. This is if you go back to here, obviously I said I wrote an Evan here, right? The thread ID is the ID number of each of these containers. So each of these message history boxes, that is the thread ID. So first, the only thing is, all right, so we haven't actually run it. We haven't created our container yet. So we can't say, we can't update. So we're gonna have to run this once. As you can see here, thread ID is not updated. But now that we run that once, the HTTP, there we go, see? So we have the ID here. So we have the thread ID because we've now created that container. And now when we say that, so see it's empty now. When we go back in and we'll run, my phone's buzzing as well though, because this message is being sent to it. So if we open here, great. Oh, no, not so great because we had the thing open. Let's do it one more time. There we go, nice. All right, so we have a thread ID, so we can link it all together, and this first workflow is complete. Congratulations. So you've completed the first half of the tutorial. So well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. And now we're going to the second part. So we want to create a new scenario. And actually, let's just go over what we have completed already, right? So we have, we've created a text. So we've created the text and we've sent this text to everyone in the CRM. So obviously that was just me at this point because we're just doing a little tutorial. But yeah, we send the text to every lead in this CRM. Next is the whole point of the second scenario is this. what do we do when those people come back and message us wanting a conversation? So this is the part that's going to handle that conversation part. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go in here, I wanted to search for Twilio again. No, it'd be handy if you could spell, to be honest. There you go. Twilio. So I'm going to go there, and I want you to scroll down and click this, right? New message status event. And what this is going to do is it's going to, first of all, let's connect it to, we'll connect it here, and I want you to click received, right? So what this is going to do now when we click save is going to watch for messages coming in, like being received by phone number. So we click save, and copy this address to your clipboard. And then I want you to open your Twilio account. There you go. Nice. Well, we're logging. Oh, there you go, top right. So log into your Twilio account as I'm doing here with that copy to your clipboard. Perfect. Now, you're going to go on phone numbers, manage your active numbers, and as you can see, I've already done it here. I have it active. I want you to click on that phone number. Cool. So once we're here, once we're in this section, I want you to get to this section, right? So yeah. So get to this section, right. Now what we're doing is, like I say, we're making this thing to watch out for this number, right? So it's going to watch, and when a new message status event happens, so when we receive a text message, we're going to do something. So that's what we're setting up right now. And the way you do that is you go, copy the address to clipboard, go through what I showed you there, and you paste it here, right? So you paste it there. Now we're going to save this configuration. Perfect. Now that is watching and waiting for somebody to message back that number. And when it does, it will trigger whatever the rest that we do now. So that's step one, that's good. So let's go on. So what we just done. Everything is watching for text messages. Great. Let's do that for this module. Now what we need to do is we need to link it to the previous thing we did, right? So we need to grab the thing that I've spoken a little bit about, the message container. So we need to grab this from threads, or we need to grab the ID. So we've already created it, and what we need to do is we need to go into here and grab the thread ID and give that to ChatGPT. Because once ChatGPT has that, it knows, it's clever enough to figure out, okay, this corresponds to that, I'm going to get it. So we need to grab the message container, and then we need to pass that to ChatGPT, or our assistant, which will then respond to the user with an app. But it's important to remember as well, we're not just passing the message history, we're also passing the text that the user just put in. So those are two inputs, and ChatGPT is going to think, it's going to be here thinking, and then it's going to spit out text at the end. Great. So, first step, getting that thread ID. I'm going to go to something that we all know and love, the search rows thing. There you go, find your thing, sheet one, great. Now it's good. That's going to get I will get them all now. Perfect. But actually, important step. We're going to have to filter this because this would get back um, the data for all of the rows. But we only want data for the person that just sent us a text message. Like if you remember a bit ago, I was showing the containers and the chat history for a bunch of people. You only want one person, right? So what we need to do is we need to get the number. So we need to filter for this person. So obviously, there's only one person in this record, right? But if we were to make like another person, three other people instead, and we just add. I'm changing the numbers here, but you don't need to. You're obviously not seeing that, hopefully. So we change the numbers, great. So we have three. So we have three people in this record now, right? How do we make sure that we're getting, you know, the relevant person? So that's what we're doing here. We get the number from the sheet, and we see if it's equal to the number that sent the text. There we go. Yeah, perfect. So we set that up. Nice. Now you get to the clever part. Chat GPT. So I'm going to set this up and I'm going to say what I'm doing that I've set it up. This is one step that everyone here will need to do if they want to have their assistant working well. So you want to click on ChatGPT OpenAI message and assistant. And once you do, this will pop up, right? And for me, I've already set this up. I'm going to help you set it up in a second. So here is your actual brains, right? The actual brains and guts of the conversation. You're going to need to set up a ChatGPT assistant. And the way that we do that is you make your account and you go here. You go here, right? And you say assistants. You can copy this and put it into your browser. I'll bring you into the playground. Now you can see some similarities. The name of the assistant is here and the instructions here. So this is in the instructions, you want to put what you want your bot to act like. Do you want it to act like an expert? Do you want it to act like an appointment setter? In this case, obviously, yes. What do you want it to know about? What language do you want it to think? What questions would you like it to ask? That's all in the instructions. And there's a bunch of things online that you can do to help get you better at this, because this is really called prompt engineering. Now, when I was coming up with this, it was took a lot of testing. So writing stuff in here, talking with a bot, and testing it, and then tweaking the instructions sort of thing, and it ended up with this. So once you create your system, you're going to be able to access it from here. Now the message here's going to be an interesting one. So in the message, what you want to put in is this. You're going to want message history and obviously the user prompt. If you remember on the last so there you go. Yeah, agreed. So if you remember when I was talking about the thread IDs, because I'm sort of populating here now, what we need to pass into ChatGPT is two things, right? We need to pass in the actual body of the text and the message history. And that's what we're doing here with this message right here. The message history and the user prompt. I pass them both of them in. Perfect. And then ChatGPT will spit out a response, which we will then send to the phone number. Phone number 2. So we're going to populate this. And the message body is going to be the actual message. Maybe that. The message of value that ChatGPT spits out. And that is it, guys. Like, one last thing actually. We're not going to be able to run this once. What we need this to be scheduled. Okay, that's what we need to say. So we need to schedule this, right? And the reason why is because this thing at the start, this is called a trigger event. So we don't want to run it like every 15 minutes. We don't want it to run it every 30 minutes. This one needs to run the second that someone sends it a message. So it kicks off this at this part. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed those two tutorials. Hopefully now you've been able to set up these scenarios and you can be well on your way to developing an assistant of your own and talk to your own databases. Have a play, swap out Google Sheets, swap out other things. Now, before we go, I'm obviously going to show you end product. I hope you're eager to wait and sort of see that. So my phone's been buzzing the whole day. So let's go through now and show you the end product and run this integration. Thanks for coming back. Obviously, I took a little break. I went to play some basketball, so that's why it's dark and the lighting's really bad. But we're now, I'm going to show you, put a video up somewhere of what's happening on my phone. So I've just run scenario number one. So there's a text message coming to my phone as we're speaking now. And yeah, I'll talk you through the actual I'll talk you through how it works. So just got the message that says, "It's Michelle from Business Coaching Limited. Is this the same Evan that was in touch with the team recently?" And obviously, you'll notice the first sentence that comes through is sent from your Twilio trial account. When you fund your Twilio account, this goes, so don't worry about that at all. So we'll be quite dry. We'll just say it is. Um, no, a little bit of a typo there, but oh well. Yeah, so we'll just be quite dry. Say it is, and that will hopefully be picked up by our second scenario where we set up that Twilio thing to watch for a message, and it has. Amazing. So it's working perfect first time. Amazing. So we got thanks. Thank goodness. My calendar just pinged me to call, but I didn't want to disturb you. Are you still looking for help? So that first message in my instructions for the assistant, I told it to say that. I gave it in the instructions. I said, this is going to be the first message that we send via scenario one. But when the person confirms, I want you to send this message basically. So let's answer, let's talk to this. So we say, thank goodness, my calendar just pinged me to call, but I didn't want to disturb you. Are you still looking for help? We'll just say yes. Yes, but maybe it's been a long time, so we'll ask what is regarding as well. What is this message about? And there we go. So that second scenario really is that's the conversation, right? So we're having that's what's dealing with all this conversation. It's watching, waiting for a text message to come. Oh, there we go. Send another message. So are you focusing on any business goals? So we can see here there's a little bit of an error. It's not really acknowledged that second part, so we can ask again. Um, what is this about? Fingers crossed it works now. So we go, we are a business coaching group helping individuals like yourself increase their monthly revenue and achieve their goals. What would hitting your business targets mean for you personally and professionally? So there's basically two questions I've hard coded into the instructions here, and you can do this yourself, right? So this is the example of a business coaching group, right? But you can change these so that the AI asks a certain qualifying questions for whatever. So if you're a plumbing business, if you're a lawyer or in an accountancy agency, you can sort of tailor those questions to whatever agency or industry you're working in, right? So I was like, oh, okay, I understand. I understand now. Hitting revenue targets would be great. All right. So this send your messages just to show you how this actually works, right? But hopefully you're getting the feel for it now. It is like a conversational bot. And if there's something you don't really like about how this conversation is being conducted, you can change it in the instructions of the AI assistant, right? So that's really what I want to hit home here, right? So it's not about you can change this and make it your own. I really tell you, do make it your own. So that's how you're going to make the most value from it. So would you like to schedule a call back to explore how we can assist you? Just say yes, and hopefully we'll get a Calendly link come through. And that'll be that'll be it. And it's worth last point actually on this chat, right? You can see I'm waiting. There's a wait between both of them. That wait is one because there's a lot of computation going on in the background, but you can also add a bit more of a wait if you want to make it more like human-like. Because it wouldn't be human-like at all if the bot like answered straight away, right? If you want to mimic like an assistant, you can even have it wait up to 3 minutes if you wanted. And there we go. Yeah. So great. Here's my calendar for you to book anytime. Perfect. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, give it a subscribe. If you couldn't be going through that and building it yourself, or you're having any trouble, reach out to me. I have my website and my email in my bio. So give me a message. If I have time, I'll respond to you. Also use the comments. I'll try and respond to any questions you've got there. But yeah, well done for making this far for those of you that completed it. And good luck with either implementing it into your business or selling it into people's businesses. So well done.